Alright, very cool. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to flip over to the solo screen real fast. How's everybody tonight? Alright, so welcome to the stream. It is Repeal Day was Monday, I think. So happy Repeal Day. If you don't know what that is, we'll go into that a little bit later. Alright, so real fast, go over the rules of the stream. No beer reviews. All beer reviews. No repeating beer reviews. Sorry about that. It's a little late tonight. No mega breweries for beer. Mega brewery beers reviews. Apparently, I can't talk either. It happens, right, Scott? Got to show respect to the reviewers. I'm gonna shut my door. Because hey, this is their opinions when they're reviewing beers. Everybody's taste buds are different, that's why, and I said it before, I think one of the greatest jobs in the world would be a food critic. So it is what it is, and also have fun, have a pint. But yeah, welcome to the stream. If you've never been to the stream before, my name is Ted. You can also call me Escape Time. We are a beer review show. Basically what that means is we review beer and we talk about beer. And it's the first one on Twitch, and we're original. With me tonight I have Scott B. How you doing, Scott?
Doing good.
Nice. I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit so I'm a little center on the screen there. I got my Don't Panic shirt on tonight. It's a viewer who, when I used to stream Crowded Kitchen, thank you for the host. I do appreciate it. I used to do games and whatnot. I did definitely. It was 42, so a soda 42. So it was kind of cool because 40. This whole don't panic thing is from Hitchhiker's Guide in the Galaxy. So it's a fun shirt. I'm excited about it. He sent this to me a while back, but yeah. All right. So Scott, do you want to jump right into the beer? I know this is probably a good thing to do. I'll let you go first. If you're
all right.
Hold on.
All right. So
boom.
Do you want to pull it up before I?
Oh, I got it. You're good.
Beer?
Yeah. Go for it.
All right. So this week I'm going with one of Stone Brewing's newer additions to the lineup. It's a Mocha IPA. I don't know. I guess we have reviewed a Stone Brewing beer in the past. I think we did the milk stout, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Jeff did that.
This is one that really caught my attention. It combines two drinks that if I could solely live off them in life, I would. And that is
oh God.
Coffee, or like a chocolate coffee and beer. Unfortunately, you need to throw a little water in there to stay hydrated. But I digress. Another very cool thing I love about Stone, aside from how great all of their beers are, is one of their main logos is a gargoyle, which is really cool. So let's get into the Mocha IPA. Checks in at 9%. I have had this before, so I have to say I'm very excited to get back into it and drink it tonight. One of the hops that gets used in this is Citra, which is a relatively new hop, at least in terms of it being used in beer. Big fan of Citra hops. So let me pour this out. All right. So right, the scent you get is, you definitely pick up the cocoa that's been added in or the chocolate, and you get a nice subtle scent of the hops, which is actually a very nice combination.
I've never had this before, so I'm kind of curious on what it
I never noticed. Kind of took my time to smell it in the past. I always just dove right in, but I'll tell you, it has a very good nose on it.
So do you smell the coffee?
Well, so it has cocoa in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But mocha, right? That's like, is that is that a coffee or is it? Yeah, it is, right?
Yeah. So mocha in general, it's espresso and chocolate. But in reading through their description of it all, it's a tantalizing combination of fresh, golden roasted coffee and pure dark chocolate. You do get the coffee and the chocolate in there, which definitely comes through in the scent as well as the taste. You definitely get the coffee right up front, and it's kind of mellowed out by, some of the floral and piney notes of the hops, which is a really nice combination. I'll tell you, when I first had this beer, it didn't strike me positively, but as I've had more and more bottles of it, it seems to get better with each tasting. I would the 6-pack's a little expensive in terms of other 6-packs out there, but it's coming in at 9%, at least here in New Jersey and in the U.S. Probably looking around $14-15 for a 6-pack.
Wow.
But well worth it.
So it's considered a double IPA, Imperial IPA, because of the 9%. But I mean, I think I may have had something similar a while back, but I'll be honest with you, it's one of those things where I can't really remember what it was, so it probably didn't really sit well with me. The other thing I love about Stone is that they always have a novel on the back of their bottle.
Yeah, and that's for anybody watching, you're seeing me continually read the back of the bottle, but like Ted said, if you've ever had and tried to read about a Stone beer before, they do have quite a novel on the back, and it's usually quite comical as well as informational on the beer. But this one, they kind of go into, because it has, the chocolate and the roasted coffee, in addition to the hops. Is this really an IPA, or is it a half IPA? Is it a half stout? They go on to say it is definitely all IPA and bordering on Imperial IPA. No matter what it is, this is a beer I would have again. Highly recommended out to everybody that sees it. Pick it up, try it.
That's cool, man. I've never tried that before, so I might have to go grab that. I know it's one of those things where you see something like that and you're like, coffee IPA, you're a little bit skeptical sometimes about how it would come out, right? But
yep. Yeah, it's a big commitment to buy a 6-pack of this. But and for you, Ted, I mean, next time you're over, I have more in the fridge, so don't feel you have to go out and purchase a 6-pack. It's waiting here, chilled for you.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
I'd actually be interested. I know we've talked about this in the past, that Stone has just opened up a brew house in Europe. I think in Germany.
Yeah, in Berlin.
Berlin. I'd be interested to see, what the subtle differences are between beers coming out of Berlin versus the beers coming out of California.
Well, I mean, don't they? I thought they also opened. No, they don't have one on the East Coast. I thought they may have, but I don't.
They
think
may have.
did.
How are you talking about it?
Yeah, I don't think. I'm not sure. I mean, I know they have the one in Berlin, and I know they have one in San Diego, right? Which actually Steve said He was going to try to be here this week, but he couldn't come because he was going to be in New York tonight for work. My man's always all over the place. I mean, he works for Apple. He runs everywhere. But he said that he's going to be in San Diego next week. So what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to get the Stone at the same period of time where we're going live, and he's going to try to broadcast from Stone.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome, to be honest with you. I like. I'm kind of keen to see how he works that bad boy out. But yeah, that would be cool. That brewery is beautiful too. You know, I love they have amazing grounds to it. You know, they have a ton of stuff that they do, which they ship, you know, nationwide. Uh-oh, no one's awake. I don't know if you guys can hear him through the wall. Hopefully not.
Sorry. As long as you keep talking, it's fine.
Yeah, as long as I keep talking. My son, I had to put on that. I used to have a graphics guy where you could see him. Doom. I don't have it set up, Monica. I'm sorry. I totally don't have that yet. Eventually. Woo, beer. But I have a graphic of Owen where he's like breathing fire and lightning coming out of his eyes, and it's genius. Gremlin 42. Yeah, just Gremlin. Take the 42 off. That whole thing's done. But yeah, Steve's hopefully going to be doing some hopefully live from Stone next week. I think that's kind of cool. But you're right. I wonder what's the difference, you know?
Right.
Or
you got me thinking about this type of stuff the other week when you reviewed the Dogfish Head. You know, purchasing new versus
oh yeah,
you know, buying or sampling it against something that you've aged. So that's definitely an interesting assessment there.
I've said it for a few weeks, and you know, but I think what I want to do is get us together, and maybe get, you know, now I have the laptop of awesomeness, which I think that's going to be its official title. We can start doing a ton of other stuff, man. I cannot just wait. This thing is beautiful. I've showed Deadnez knows. I've showed him the specs of what I was getting, so it's a nice laptop. So we have so many things that we can actually do now, and one of them is getting those beers together. Down in the basement, I have the same one I did the other week, the Palo Santo Maroon, which is been aging for 9 years. We'll get a fresh one. They just re-released 8 Vertical Epic 8, which I have the original of, and I also have the original of the 14th anniversary, which they just re-released as well. So at least those 3 we could just sit down and just have an epic tasting. But we'll have to figure that.
One thing about, you mentioned the Palo Santo, Dogfish Head for 2016 has actually moved, or I believe 2017 has moved that into their year-round brewing. So it's not just going to be a season.
Yeah.
Very cool.
You actually remember to have another one downstairs that we can actually do. I have one of the first releases of Dogfish Head 120, and it doesn't even have a label on it. It just has it didn't even had like a sticker on the top of it. It didn't even have. It was just the weirdest bottle. And I was like, "What is this?" When I first bought it, it was like, "It's the 120. It's their first release." I was like, "Yoink, that's mine." So I have that downstairs, and back then the ABV of that was 21%, and so they now any Dogfish Head 120s that you drink are the maximum they are is like 18. So I'd love to take that, because that one, it literally, I mean, they say to age that one. That one is like, because of all the hops, you can age that forever. Well, not forever. You eventually want to drink it, but I've had that probably as long as, or even longer than the Palo Santo. So it might be time to open that bad boy up. All right, wait. I still have to do my beer review because I'm kind of thirsty. So let me switch over real quick. All right. Let me pull up the beer info real fast. Get rid of the rules. Jump on the beer info here. I'm gonna turn this a little bit better there. All right. So tonight, guys, I'm doing the I bought a case of this stuff. It's originally comes from New Belgium. It is New Belgium's is out of Colorado. So this is the Fat Tire and Friends. It is the 25th anniversary of New Belgium Brewing Company. So what they did was they went around to several different breweries, and I have a list of what they other beers in it. So in the case, they decided to take Fat Tire, which is one of their flagship beers, and go around and New Belgium, go around to different breweries and do a collaboration series with a bunch of different breweries. The one I'm drinking tonight is from Firestone Walker. It's a collaboration, and it's called Fat Hoppy. Fat Hoppy. There we go. It's finally starting to focus there.
So real quick, the case you bought, is it all from Firestone Walker, or
no,
is it a combination of everyone that brewed it?
So they use the base of Fat Tire, which is it's a beer that, I'll be honest with you, I'm not. Hey, Crowded Kitchen, how are you?
And I believe it's an amber ale.
It is an amber ale. And it is. And Dennis, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate that as well. And welcome all others who have joined us as well. So, they took the base of Fat Tire and they brewed, let's see, 4 different versions of it. So there are 6 beers in the case. I'm just reading it off their website here. Allagash Fat Funk, Avery Fat Wild Ale, Hopworks Fat Sour Apple Ale, the Firestone Walker Fat Hoppy Ale, which we're talking about tonight, and the Rheingeist Fat Pale Ale. But also included in that case was also the New Belgium Fat Tire. And if any of you guys follow my Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, you would know that. I mean, I posted up there. I'm not a big fan of Fat Tire. I'm not. I'm not gonna lie.
A direct draw beer dispenser.
Thank you, Monica.
Half barrel capacity with an anti-foaming mechanism.
Anti-foaming mechanism. This is what I needed when I cracked this bad boy open. I'm not a big fan of Fat Tire, but I loved every beer that was in this case, except for the Fat Tire. So let's see here. It's got a little bit of a foam here, so I'm gonna pour this out real fast. So this is I'm gonna read you what this says on the side there. It's meh. Fat Tire. Yeah, I'm not. Crowded Kitchen. I that's my thing. I'm not a big fan of it. To be honest with you, when I first tasted it, it tasted like a smoky beer. But Fat Tire is an American amber ale, red ale type style, and normally I like red ales. But let me real fast. Here's the color what we got here. Nice crisp. The head isn't that frothy, but it's just stable. Well, it is. It's not like going everywhere. It's not like a giant, crazy.
I've never heard the head of a beer referred to as stable.
Stable.
I like it. I may use it moving forward.
Why not? It could be worse. And I agree with you. Crowded Kitchen Ranger is okay. Their original recipe was okay, but their new recipe has gotten better.
I'll tell you, the citradelic is top. Very good.
Yeah, definitely not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Thank you. Sometimes those sound effects always come at the most interesting times. So again, this is one of the the 5 collaboration beers that they have in this series. It's about 6%. You know what? I'm not even sure what type of style it is. I mean, it says on the site. It says amber ale, red ale, but hugely hopified Fat Tire, thanks to California friends, by brewing a West Coast IPA. So, okay, this is like a West Coast IPA version of the Fat Tire, basically. Fat Tire with an amplified American hop aroma and flavor. So that's one of the reasons why they have it's called Fat Hops. But they use Mosaic, Citra, and I don't even know what that Mirandia Bavaria as the hops in this. Yeah, I've never heard that last one, but this is definitely a very. It doesn't smell hoppy. Like I'm not really getting like you crack open a regular IPA. You're not getting like the aroma of the flowers, right? Citra for the win. Yeah, Citra for the win. But it is bitter. It's not super bitter. There's a little bit of sweetness to it. Not too crazy. Not too crazy when it comes to bitter. I mean, even though this is considered an IPA version of the Fat Tire. I mean, it's there isn't, with all that hops they just listed. I don't really get too much of like the IPA feel to this, but it's tasty. I mean, there's more malts in there, and I think maybe the hops after a while the hops kind of just died down, because that kind of happens with age. You get a really super hoppy beer and you age it. The flavor complexity is going to change constantly, and this is one of those instances. I think they probably super hopped it, and maybe when I bought it, I don't know how long it's been there, but the flavor complexity, you're not getting like a huge hop scent or flavor in this. But it's good. I mean, it's worthwhile if you're looking for that pack. It's this. Like I said, if it came out in June, I'm not sure if you'll be able to find it anymore. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to review it. I had some left in the fridge. I didn't actually buy it in June. I think we bought it in like August. But it's definitely a cool beer, because I think this is probably one of the only times you're going to get it, unless they re-release one of these in another time frame. But this is one of those rarities, and I think probably out of the case, if one of these things are I guess more popular, they'll probably reproduce it.
Yeah.
But since it's a collaboration, a lot of times you have collaboration beers, and they'll do it once and you'll never see it again. So it was worth picking up.
The popular ones tend to stick around though, like the Saison du Boeuf.
Yeah, although I haven't seen that in a while. That one's.
So what they've started doing now is 3 breweries: Stone, Victory, and Dogfish.
Okay.
It's the third one. They're now. I think the first year they did it, all 3 brewed it, and they all put it out at the same time, and you could find any of the 3 brewed at either of the 3 breweries. Now I believe they're kind of rotating it around. So one brewery does it each year, and it's a seasonal, so it's only out certain times of the year. And if I remember correctly, 2017, Dogfish Head is doing it.
Oh, nice.
So you'll get to see that.
So
two things I wanted to mention about the Fat Tire. One, Ted, you were mentioning, the hops weren't that strong, or you didn't get much of them. And that may have been done intentionally, just because, if they're doing a collaboration on the Fat Tire, you still want to have that original Fat Tire flavor there. Just kind of some notes at the end. Second thing I wanted to say is a fun fact. The first beer I ever brewed as a homebrew was a Fat Tire clone.
Oh, really?
And it turned out horrible.
Was that after we did the beer for our wedding, or my wedding, or?
No. This was back in 2005.
Okay.
This was a while ago. So what is that? 2 years before your wedding? Yeah, 2 years before your wedding.
Yeah. This 2007 will be 10. So this is Ann and I've been married 9 years. So yeah, around there, I guess.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't realize you brewed before I thought the first time we all brewed was when we went to that place, but that was the first time I brewed.
Yeah, the first time I brewed was actually with my wife's uncle. He had home brewed before, and he said it was really fun. And he wanted to pass on the knowledge, and he also wanted a reason to drink. So he invited me over, and we sat down, brewed a beer. It was Fat Tire, and I didn't like it then. I still don't like it now. But I would be very interested in the collaboration ones you're having though. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, I think my favorite one out of them all was probably the one from Avery. It was a wild ale. That was the one I had. I had a Fat Funk the other day. I put that on Twitter and all those other things. Which, by the way, if you're not following, by all means, please go click on and be happy with the Twitter stuff. Yeah, and the Instagram. But the wild ale was, let's see, a Go Wild Ale. Thanks to Boulder's finest unabashed tropic take on Fat Tire. So, sturdy malt background, fruity hop aroma. That one and a tropical pineapple layer, they say. Tropical pineapple. Their Instagram is annoying. On a side note, who? Are you talking about Fat? Who is it? New Belgium's? Yeah, I don't know. I don't follow a lot of people on Instagram. Although I like posting on there because I can actually click on it, post it everywhere else just by going to Instagram. It's one-stop shop for me. It's great. So, but that one was fantastic. So if you get a chance to taste that one, I love that one. There was definitely a very like citrus hops aroma to it. Not like this. Like I said, this isn't really like a lot of hoppy. You might be right. They may have done that on purpose so that you get more of that amber, which I'm okay with.
Right. That would be my guess, because otherwise you wouldn't want it to be labeled a Fat Tire, right? It would be something.
Right. Although one of the beers that were in here was a sour apple version of it. So I mean,
yeah,
they're like the Nickelback of beers. I would agree with you on that. They're kind of okay.
Why? That really makes me laugh, because I don't know at what point Nickelback took the turn to be the butt end of everyone's joke. It happens everywhere.
I'll be honest. I don't even like them at like the brewery itself. Some of their beers they do they're again okay. They're not bad. Some of them, like Fat Tire, not a fan. The thing that turned me off about the brewery itself is that I was traveling in Colorado. They're out of Fort Collins. I was probably visiting my in-laws. We went there, and when I was writing about beer, I stopped in, to see if I could talk to one of the brewers or, one of the beer reps or something like that. And I went in and I just talked to the receptionist and I said, hey, here's my card. I had business cards all printed up for the Hop and Kettle at the time, which is a site I used to run to do beer reviews and travel and all sorts of stuff. But the people there were just assholes. And I don't find the people were in Colorado are assholes at all. But amazingly, I found the few assholes of Colorado at this one brewery.
Was that before marijuana was legalized or after?
Before. Maybe they just weren't happy enough, and now that it's legalized, there everybody's happy. But they were just they were just dicks. I was so surprised, and it kind of turned me off of their beer. I was just like, well, and B, it was a shame, but. And that's my gripe on New Belgium. I was very surprised that they on the way they treated people when they come in, especially when You know, I was writing for like magazines and stuff like that at that point. You know, so I had a few articles. I wasn't like super huge, but still, you know, it is what it is. It was fun. But
So-
go ahead, Scotty.
I was going to say, it's a question about New Belgium. So recently they have been allowed to distribute to the East Coast, in particular, Pennsylvania, New Jersey.
Hence the reason why we have it. Yeah, finally.
It seems to me that they've been releasing a lot of new varieties of their beer. Is that the case, or when you went and visited them in Fort Collins, did they still have that variety?
No, I think that's a new thing, to be honest with you, because back then, you know, again, New Belgium, I wasn't able to get New Belgium there, and I am, since, you know, my in-laws live in Fort Collins, I was kind of going around to all the breweries in Fort Collins one a day, and that's probably the biggest brewery in Fort Collins, you know, in New Belgium. Although when I first drank their beer, I always thought their brewery was called Fat Tire. I don't know, that's just me. Naiveness, but yeah, I think they're just kind of experimenting like everybody else. You know, they're trying to find their niche. People are fine listening to Nickelback, are okay with drinking with Fat Tire. Maybe
I would agree.
Yeah.
Agree, 100%. And you know what? Next time I have a
Bingo!
Fat Tire,
Give
I'm going
Brainiac
to
the fluffy dog.
look up and play some Nickelback. So it works both ways.
Yeah, that's you know, it is what it is. And you know, and to be honest with you, when Nickelback first came out, and this is totally off the subject, this is definitely a squirrel moment. Yeah. Why do you put chat boxes so close to the exit? No idea, Monica. I actually didn't mind Nickelback when they first came out, but now it's kind of like, whatever, it's Nickelback. So Monday was Repeal Day, by the way. If no one knows what that is, that was the... thank you, Monica. That was the day that Prohibition was repealed. Fantastic, right? I mean...
Should we cheer?
Wait, hold on. Salute.
There you go.
I need to get a cheers sound. Do I even have one in there?
You need a Bavarian chant sound.
Oh, a Bavarian chant or Bavarian beer song?
Oi, oi, oi. That would fit here.
I don't have that. I have a beer song sound effect down there that's kind of fun. But pint. I think it's pints. It's with an S, Monica. So
I still don't know how to find these sounds on here.
well, I have to figure that out, Scotty, and then we'll get back to the whole thing of Prohibition. Like, I had to figure out, obviously, how I can get it so you can hear the sounds as well. That's otherwise it kind of kills the whole point.
Libations!
For everybody. So anyway, Repeal Day. I always forget. It's all right. No worries. Repeal Day is the day that Prohibition was repealed, and it's interesting. I actually totally forgot that Monday was Repeal Day, but I found an article talking about a little bit of the history of Repeal Day. Well, not just the history, but just a little bit. I'm gonna go to it real fast because I found it really, really cool. Where is it? There it is. So currently in the U.S., as of 2016, I think I have.
I'm trying to see if I hear anything.
I have a delay on it, Scott, so you have to do a different one. As of 2016, according to the Craft Brewers Association, there are 5,005 craft brewers in the U.S. That's a lot of craft breweries.
That is.
But 83 years ago, back right when Repeal Day happened. So let's go back a little bit here, a little bit of history here on this, right? First of all, Why the hell did anybody ever want to ban alcohol? I have no idea. But apparently, it was the Women's Christian Temperance Union who promoted prohibition. They believe that it caused social ills and
I heard they were all burned as witches.
I hope so, because that would have been appropriate. Prohibition ended, and they rounded up all those ladies and burnt them at the stake. So, but in 1870, there were over 4,000 breweries, by the way, in the United States. And by the time the start of Prohibition, there were only 700. And when originally, so what happened with the reason why they brought beer back and made it legal to drink again in the United States? Carpet munchers? To each his own. Who knows? The reason why they actually brought back beer is because it was think of it as a stimulus. Roosevelt brought it back as a way so people could I'm distracted by the comments.
You should just hide the comments.
No, I can't because I want to read it and react. I have to. So, they brought it back because of the Great Depression. They needed something else to help kickstart it out of the Great Depression. So he actually ended up allowing beer to be produced again in the United States. But by the time the end of Prohibition, there were only about 300 breweries left out of those 4,000. And out of those 700 that were around when Prohibition started. But, one of the things people had said, and they saw that, and then obviously the big breweries started buying out other breweries. And, a lot of the breweries that are in existence, the larger ones like Bud, Miller, and all these other ones, they probably still own a lot of those original recipes for some of those local beers. Now, the thing I'm curious about is, and they said this, gotta put the stinker to bed. All right, Crowded Kitchen, thanks again for stopping by. Appreciate it, man. Oh, Monica, can you throw a so command up for Crowded Kitchen? He's the streamer. He's doing beer and he's brewing beer, but he also ferments a ton of stuff. So if you guys haven't checked him out, definitely give him a follow. But with the idea of like 5,005 breweries now in the United States, is there a point in time where we're going to hit that bubble? And a lot of people keep saying that, are we going to get to that point where craft brewing is just no longer it's not a fad, but it becomes more of like a you know what I mean? Is there a limit to the amount of breweries that we can have in a certain area?
I have a view on that.
Okay.
And we started to touch on this a couple weeks back when we were talking about brew festivals and the clientele that show up there.
Right.
I think that
guys like us, drunks. No.
Well, no. There's a whole new level.
Right.
We potentially may. Right now, it's definitely a very popular thing to try craft beer and try and find the latest, greatest thing that's coming out. It's kind of in line. It's following the same flow of everybody wants to grow their own food, shop local, go with the small guy. I think that's really driving a lot of people to craft breweries. On top of, they brew some really great beer.
Right.
And the reason I mentioned they brew some really great beer is I think as long as they continually do that and try and push the envelope, it's not going to become overblown or hit a bubble scenario. The bubble scenario should take care of itself, right? So as these people start jumping in and trying to join the fad, if you can't brew good enough to cut it, you're gonna not make it. So I think it's gonna kind of handle itself. for the most part. The concern is a lot of people that are kind of just doing it because, or drinking the beer because it's cool. They may keep some of the smaller, not so good craft brewers alive. But that's fine. I think the smaller craft breweries coming online is actually pushing some of the other craft brewers to continually try and learn and evolve, which I think is also a good point.
But it forces the mega breweries, which we will never review any of their trash here, to also try to push the envelope. I mean, even look at Guinness, right?
Yeah.
They produce an IPA.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, and a porter recently.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they're looking at statistics. So, I was looking today at, it may have been a similar article you were looking at, just with
shine on my head. No worries. I have a hat around here somewhere. Go ahead, Scott. Keep talking. I'm gonna find a hat.
I was looking at an article today where they were talking about, in the U.S. we're over 5,000 craft breweries, and I think they said of the brews, the styles of beer brewed, IPAs rounded out about 25 to 30% of them. So that's obviously the most popular style that we're drinking here in the U.S. right now. So with that said, it makes sense that some of your larger breweries will try and pick up some of that traffic by brewing that style. It could fail, but for them, why not try and bring some of those people over to their brand? I think, at least.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting thing. So 5,000 breweries that are currently in the United States, right? They are only account for about 20% of a $1.6 billion industry right now. But I mean, I don't know. You think about it this way, like the IPA is probably, like you said, is the most popular style in the United States because a lot of people are like hops.
Libations for everybody!
Try and hear the sound.
You should be able to hear it. Scotty can't hear the sounds when people do the sound effects, guys. So he's trying to hear it.
Oh,
there you go. We can hear it now. All right, fantastic. But like they have, I forgot my point
good.
now.
That's real good.
So, what the hell was I saying? I went from squirrels to pints to
IPAs.
Yeah. The second most popular thing coming up right now, and again, I hope to God this is a fad, is fruit version of IPAs.
Well, it goes along with, what was it, Allagash? Or who was it that brewed the style of Fat Tire?
I think it was. Hold on, let me look again. It was. Dun, 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 dun. I have it back here. So the one of the beers, a beer I reviewed tonight, guys. If you haven't seen it, if you weren't around for the beer review, I will be making highlights will come out probably around Thursday, Friday, depending when I get to it, one of those days. But what Scotty's talking about there, this is one of the bottles in a case of Fat Tire collaborations. The beer you're talking about is Hopworks Fat Sour Apple, and it tastes like a sour apple. It just basically tastes like sour apple. And it was okay, but look at Ballast Point,
Right.
I mean, how many versions of Sculpin can you have?
As many as people will buy.
They have
I'm waiting for the chocolate sculpin.
Oh God, I know. They have the pineapple one. They have the habanero one.
Yep.
What else am I missing here?
Obviously the regular.
Yeah.
I feel like there is another out there, but I think it's only a matter of time till you get the coffee sculpin or the chocolate sculpin.
True, maybe. I mean, hope they don't go that direction. taste a fat tire beer like tire? No, so Raster, and again, welcome to the stream. I'm not a big fan of Fat Tire. It is a beer from New Belgium. It's an okay amber. It's a beer out of Colorado, a brewery out of Colorado. I think some people probably do think it probably tastes like a tire. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm not a fan.
There's people out there that love it and swear by it.
Oh, I know. It's like people who drink PBR.
Whoa.
I'm pointing at you, Scotty.
Right. It's a great beer on a hot day after you mow the lawn. I'm sticking to it.
I don't know. I can't drink that
stuff.
stuff.
You go to a bar in any major city right now, and PBR is on tap as a fad beer.
It's not that good.
It isn't. It is not. But it's refreshing.
If you're okay, sure, I could see it. If you're like out there digging holes, and then you come inside and it's like 100 degrees outside, and you come inside and you want something that's not water, grab a PBR. Or maybe it's kind of like I love the Chamonix Brewing Company. They have that lawnmower ale, the cream ale that I kind of drink as my session here when I'm done my beer that I review. But tonight I'm actually going to be drinking the Indian Brown Ale from Dogfish Head. That's my second beer. It's a good beer, but it's one of those things that I love during the summers. But it has a bit more flavor than PBR. Plus, I also know Jeremy. Jeremy is a good friend of mine, and I love supporting his stuff. But he also brews some fantastic things.
I got also to say about PBR, it's cheap. That's the other positive factor of it.
Oh, I see. Unita Pit Stop Sour Apricot IPA, fruit making its way into everything. No, and you're right. And they were saying that this is a style of beer that is taking IPAs and adding fruit to it.
Yeah.
And hopefully they claim it may be a fad beer. I'm hoping it's a fad thing. Kind of like, unfortunately, like black IPAs a few years ago. Black IPAs was a thing. It was a huge thing. And I actually really like black IPAs. But everybody was brewing that one dark IPA because they took their porter, or something similar to that, and just added a ton of hops to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, porters have really grown out of fad.
Yeah.
And you bring up a good point. I thought that black IPAs were kind of taking over that area, but those have even died out lately.
Lady Scientist, thank you for the follow. I do appreciate it. But you're right, yeah. There's still a bunch out there. 21st Amendment does it. Back in Black IPA. Back in Black. No, it is Back in Black IPA.
Yep.
That's the name of the beer. But there's not many anymore,
Yeah.
That's one when it comes out, I grab. I love that.
Right.
But let's see. Belgium is famous for a lot of creations. I wouldn't call those beer. It's just a drink with alcohol. What do you mean, Raster? Belgium or New Belgium? I don't know. I know. I have friends in Belgium, and their beer is fantastic. I
think he's going with New Belgium there.
All right.
But we'll see. We'll see if he responds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Just going back to a lot of fruit flavors making its way into beer, and if you think about it, we're kind of on this progression where we're starting to introduce a lot of these hops that are introducing your citrus and like passion fruit flavors into beer. It was only a matter of time until we started to get actual fruit into your typical ales and IPAs.
But a lot of those those flavors you were talking about there, right? Those were actually not actually fruit added into the beer. It was actually the hops and the character of the
Right.
hops that was.
But I bring up the hops kind of as it's a stepping stone, you know.
Right.
So you start to get some of those flavors, and people are like, you know what? Let me expand on this. See if it takes. Obviously, it has.
So wait, hold on. Mean Belgium in Europe. All right, you're gonna have to clarify that. Clarify that, Raster. I'm not sure what creation they wouldn't call those beers. They have a lot of good beers. I mean, the Trappist Monks beers, they do fantastic. Scott was talking about it the other week. The Rochefort beer in this series. And Cherish Games, I've had. This is one of my favorite beers in the winter. Indian Brown Dark IPA. It's basically a brown ale with a little bit of hops, you know, but it's it's at 7.2. It's fantastic. This is one of my go-to in the fall because you know my beer, what I drink it kind of shifts. I've talked that before. I'm from Germany, and there's a law called yes. And it says brewers are not allowed to produce. Okay. No, I know the purity laws. The beer.
That's the 4-ingredient law, right?
Yep, that's the 4-ingredient law. Water, hops, barley. And I'm forgetting the last one.
I don't know, I'm sure he'll tell us.
Well, yeah. All right,
Yeast? Probably yeast.
yeast. There you go. And it's a that's the thing. I mean, all right, with that law there, right? That was started in Germany. I can't remember when it was, right? The beer purity laws. None of the stuff that we produce here in the United States would probably hold up to that standard at all. None of it, right? And there are 4 ingredients, and that's it. But you know, you can't call a malt beverage. It's beer. You know, it's yes, yeast. All right, so he there you go. So yeast. Water,
is it specifically
hops.
barley or is it grain? You know,
I think-
yeast, grain, water, and hops.
I think it's barley. We can look it up. Actually, I'll look it up while we do this. So, let's see here. Everything else drink is a drink with alcohol, but not beer. It
Right,
is
you know
what it is.
Valid point.
Yeah, but that was a law that Germany created, you know, because I think there was a lot of interesting ales that were out there. You know, that brings up the subject of Gruit ales. You know, there are beers, not beers, but they're Gruit ales that are, you know, not brewed with hops. Hops was a source of bittering for the sweet malts, right? But there are a ton of other ingredients that are out there that you can use for bittering. You know, Heather is one of them. You know, she doesn't like it when I drop her into beer, but sorry, bad joke. By
the power of Grayskull.
By the power of Grayskull, that's right. And it was the one opportunity someone could have used the bad joke sound effect, and they totally didn't do it. By the way. But you know, what's the other one? I have it outside. Yarrow's another one. There are a bunch of different things you can use for bittering. Heather is a flower. But when you add it into it, the color of it, which is generally a purple consistency, actually bleeds into the beer. So your Gruit ale comes out as a like a purple color. There you go. Bad joke. Thank you. I do appreciate that. But yeah, technically, I guess everything that we brew here would be a Gruit ale too, according to the. Well, no, because that's all anything without hops, with using something else of bittering.
I'm fine calling it just an ale in general.
So am I. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Dogfish Head, in my opinion, goes a little strong sometimes on alcohol content, but they nailed this one. No, I agree with you. It's like I said, it's one of my go-to in the fall, and winter. And I normally pick up a case, but I only got a 6-pack this year, so I'll probably get some more. But yeah, it's a good beer. So, but wait, Raster, if you're in Germany, right? Have you seen some of Scott asked a question earlier? Have you seen, Stone Brewing Company just opened up a brewery in Berlin? So I know they went into production, and I'm wondering whether or not you've seen some of their beer come through different parts of Germany.
Yeah.
Because the question was, A, how is it? And B, what if we're wondering if there's like a difference of like the quality, ones you get from San Francisco, from the ones you get in Europe, at the Berlin brewery. So if you've had any, let us know. That'd be fantastic.
Goody gumdrops.
Righteous Fear, thank you for the host, sir. Do appreciate it. Actually, Monica, can you drop Righteous Fear a so command? Righteous Fear is another a brewing streamer that's on the brewing category. One of few, So Brew Nation is one of them. Then Righteous Fear, then me. Although I haven't really brewed anything, we just kind of sit around and talk about beer. But we will be soon. What's up, man? How are you tonight? And there's a few other guys. I was talking to a young guy last night who was just starting streaming beer the other night, and seemed interesting to see what he was doing. But yeah, we were talking about Repeal Day, and then we kind of got off on a long tangent here, which is fine. And actually, Righteous Fury, since you're here, we're talking about different beer styles. So one of the things that someone mentioned, I read an article about the other day, well, this afternoon, was the whole concept of a New England style IPA, which Monica, so many squirrel moments tonight.
Saint Bernard is a very good beer.
No, yeah, Saint Bernard is fantastic. Let's see, example of a Belgian beer with high alcohol content. Yeah, I've had it. I've had it a few times, but I got to be honest. One of my favorite beers from Belgium is the Trappist. It's okay, Monica. No worries. How about that? No, like I've not the style of a New England IPA started up kind of recently. I'm not sure how long ago, but Scott, have you had Heady Topper?
No, never. But I would love to try it. Never had it, never seen it, only read about it.
Almost like the one you reviewed last week. All right, there you go. So if you guys are kind of interested in another example of a New England IPA, Heady Topper is supposedly the beer that's kind of started the whole trend on it. But the way Ratchet Fear you described it to me was that it was, how West Coast IPAs have the super hops, and they have like a really dry aftertaste, which to me kind of annoys the hell out of me sometimes. It's one of the reasons why I stopped drinking IPAs. But I'll see what I can do, because he's in Vermont, and the guys that do Alchemist who brew Heady Toppers up there.
Right, and everything I read about Heady Topper is, you can go to the brewery and pick it up, but it's almost like carton here. It's almost impossible to get it. And carton's getting better, but you can show up there and they have nothing left. Maybe it's changed from what I've read, but that's everything that. So I was like, you know what? Everyone talks so highly of it. Maybe I'll just take a trip up there next time I'm kind of in the area.
In Vermont? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had it once or twice, right? I've the brewery that I go to in Newtown, our local town. Tim gets cans of it in.
Really?
And I'm not sure when it's like released or reproduced or when he gets it, but next time I do, I'm gonna grab a can or two for us, unless Righteous Fear can pull off a miracle here. All right, hold on a second to see. I've never seen beer from the U.S. over here, but I'll keep my eyes out. People are not. The Americans are not a big beer nation. They can't drink a lot. I don't know about that.
So I'd like to respond to number one there. I think that notion is 100% based on here in the U.S. they brew very big beers, high alcohol.
It's true.
Whereas, specifically in Germany, it's a lot of session beers, low alcohol. I'm sticking to that. All right, Raster.
I mean, depends on the brewery, right? I mean, you look at the Belgian brewers. If you're talking beer around the world, I mean, Roche 10%.
We're talking about the purity law here.
Oh well, anything that fits into purity law, I guess, probably would be a lower alcohol content. Unless Raster, you can tell me otherwise.
But specifically, Raster, it's not looking for U.S. beers over there, but Stone Brewing in particular, because they've opened up a brewery in Germany. So it would technically be local German beer. I don't know how the clientele feel about that, but whether they call it local or not, but it's being brewed in Germany.
Well, actually, that's one of the things that was in this article about the 5,005 breweries. Here in Wisconsin, we keep up the German end. They said that small craft breweries, the rest of the world, are actually wants our beer too, right? Which is, I think, one of the reasons why Stone Brewing Company actually went over and did their thing and created a brewery in Berlin. So small craft brewers export about 16% of their product volume to other countries. That's about 116 million in cash. That is insane. So I mean, the beers are out there, man. I mean, they're getting to Europe. It's just, maybe they're kind of like some of the rare beers from Europe over here.
One thing that really shocked me, and I hope this isn't included in that price tag you just mentioned. When I was over in Scotland and Ireland, most of the pubs I went to had, your local. Now, I think that price he's talking about is U.S. dollars. But a lot of the pubs you go to, they all have at least one or two, usually one tap, devoted to a Coors Light or a Budweiser. And specifically, my first pub I went to in Ireland, and mock me if you will, but I said, I'm going to go and get a Guinness off tap. So I go in to the pub, and I'm behind a guy who I can only assume is a local guy based on kind of the twang of his speaking. But he ordered a Coors Light, and I was amazed by that.
The Coors Light, actually, all those beers over there, they're not brewed here and shipped. From what I remember, like the Miller and the all that stuff, they're actually brewed over there, and they, or if they're brewed here, they're brewed at a different alcohol content, which is odd.
I know the Budweiser over there is it's brewed in Czech, I believe.
Yeah.
But Coors Light, for what I know, it's not brewed anywhere locally over there. It's kind of shipped over.
Yeah. So all right. So answer your question, Retrosphere. If you guys did not get a chance to see the beer reviews, you can always go and watch the whole thing. But I also going to I always do highlights of the beer reviews, just the beer reviews, which, by the way, is perfect timing because that's the contest that we're running. So real fast, the beers that we reviewed today. The first one, Scott probably has it up on his screen. He had the Mocha IPA from Stone, and I did Fat Tire and Friends Fat Hoppy Ale, which is a collaboration series from their 25th anniversary case that they were actually. Mocha IPA. Yes, it is very good. There you go. And again, there's the contest rules. I'll just go through that real quick, guys. If you have not already looked at it. So, again, like I said, my when I do the highlights every week of a past broadcast, they are split into all the full episode, because eventually the past broadcasts will go away. So I they expire. So I make a highlight of the entire episode. Everybody can watch everything, and then I also highlight the rip contest. Wait, it came up. Did it not come up? Hold on. I'm just making sure. Contest. Huh. It didn't come up at all. It didn't come up at all. Hold on, let me see here. Wow. All right. Apparently, Agent 42 is not broadcasting the rest of this stuff, so I'm gonna have to fix that. Doesn't look like he's broadcasting any of these things. Well, no, Discord he is. I'll have to fix it. All right. So real fast, here's what I'm gonna do. The contest itself, there's details down below. If you go look in the panel, this is our first contest. Like I said, when I do the highlights itself, I break into two. One is just the beer reviews, which is what it's named. Unfortunately, I need a better way of actually naming this. So the contest basically is this. If you haven't already, go check out some of our social media, but also join our Discord. I'm on Discord constantly at work, so I always check that a lot. But send me your best name for the highlights for just the beer, the reviews of beer. Right now, like I said, the name of it is just the beer reviews. You have to be a follower to be eligible for this contest of the channel, but the best suggestion will win a custom command and sound effect for your username in the channel. I will be shipping you, regardless of where you are in the world, the one of your choice of the many pint glasses that I have stored downstairs, and you will also be immortalized as the genius who came up with a better name than I could in our panels below. And in addition, I may even throw in there, which might be a good thing to do, if you win the contest, and if you want to come on the show and come on the broadcast and do a beer review with us, then that's the other prize. I'll throw that out there. You have to have a webcam though, at least for that part. We can't just have a random person, or even if you want to use FaceRig. Sathros uses, who's a good friend of mine, one of the other CMS members. He uses a wolf as his avatar. So, just post it in the comments. Sound commands could not be found. I don't know why it's not coming up. It's gone like 4 times here, and it's not actually showing up in the channel, which is weird. But yeah, those are the rules, guys. That's the first contest we are actually going to do. And like I said, if you want to check it out, the rules are down in the panels below. It actually should be actually it's in the comments down below. So, but just in case, real fast, I'm gonna copy. Thank you, so Sathros. That's a good thing too. Did I post in there? Did not. I'll do it over here. Sorry, guys. So make sure you can see this right now. Definitely a lot of squirrel moments tonight.
Squirrels are good.
I'm not that bad. I need to learn the words of the song. What's up, Gabe? How are you, man? There you go. I'm not sure why it's not going in the channel, but I will work on that. Oh, in addition to that, I've added a few things other than Discord, right? So Discord's up and going. Make sure you definitely join that. In addition to that, Monica, to your benefit, I added the quote system. So you should probably have fun with that as well. Yeah, that's the contest there. So at least you'll be able to see that stuff there. Yes, it's probably Gabe's fault that Onpot's not posting it. I'm not really too sure why he's not doing it, but I'll figure it out.
I'm up for a mushroom beer crowded kitchen.
When do my first mushroom beer? Do you want to try? I do want to try that.
You know, Gabe, the problem is I finished my beer and I wasn't smart enough to bring a second one.
Then you should go get a second one. Don't you have the beer fridge in your garage?
No, it's in my basement. Not that it's that much further.
I always bring up the 2. So we did the Fat Tire, and then I got my brown ale right now.
My fear is if I bring another one over, I'm gonna have to review it.
I can edit quickly. We can always do that an on-demand review. That would be kind of cool. But it looks like he's drinking too much. He doesn't like drinking too much. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Again, I'm reading it late. So we were talking about. We're getting a little off track here, obviously. But we were talking about the. What's up? Are you gonna go grab another? All right, he is. He's gonna go grab another one. So we were talking about the New England IPA style. Heady Topper apparently was the first brewery to start that out. Ratchesphere was actually reviewed another one from another. I think it was another Vermont brewery. Ratchesphere, you'll have to let me know. But it is in last week's highlights. Let me see if I can grab that real quick so you could see it. Too many squirrel events tonight, guys. Too many squirrel events. All right, here it is. I'm going to toss it in here. This is just beer reviews from last week. So if you're interested in seeing the other example of a New England style IPA, that is it. You knew it was coming. Yeah, definitely. It's one heck of a day. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks, actually, to be honest with you. But I don't know what other varieties of these New England IPAs, but I'm kind of excited to taste it because, we have IPAs themselves are great. I love them. I cannot stand the super dry IPAs anymore. Like when I drink it, I feel like I need to drink more.
So you're not a fan of Stone's Ruination IPA?
I have one in my basement. And I used to love the flavor, like the aftertaste of it and whatnot, but it's just it leaves this dry aftertaste now, and I feel like I need to go get, and maybe that's the reason why they do it.
Well, you know why they named it Ruination IPA, right?
No, why?
It's because it will actually ruin your palate, and you'll not be able to enjoy anything else.
Yeah. Scott's crisis averted, empty averted. Scott's glass is going to be full.
Yes.
Again, yes.
My glass is full.
Is Ruin a double? I think it is a double, actually. Bombers on sale at Meijer. I don't know what Meijer is. Is that a grocery store? I'm assuming.
Grocery store.
Yeah. The Ruination's a good beer, but again, it's these dry IPAs, these super hoppy IPAs that I just can't drink anymore. I've started doing like drinking different beers, like more malty beers. But inconceivable. Angry Hippie, thank you for the follow and welcome to the Hooligans. I don't know. There he goes. Donald Trump's often. I'm doing all right.
You know what? To everyone.
To each his own.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into politics here. Failfish? Yeah. Thank you for the follow, Donald Trump is awesome. Did you create that name?
Don't even mention his name.
Just so that I could say it, Donald Trump is awesome. Gotta love that. but we're doing good tonight. We did some beer reviews. Now we're just kind of like hanging out and talking about different things.
Inconceivable!
A socialistic city beer is fun. Yeah. So good you're doing your thing, man. Me? All right. Totally. You did create that name just specifically so people would say that. Sorry you didn't follow earlier. Angry Hippie, no worries, man. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Ah, very good, Gabe. Thank you again. Everybody, go check out Angry Hippie. I actually really like his streams. He's got a hell of a lot of personality, and that makes a good streamer, I think. You know, so.
An angry guy smoking weed?
No, he's not angry. Angry Hippie, you're gonna have to explain that whole name to Scott. I remember I asked you a while back, but you kind of explained it to me. But yeah, he does some good stuff. You know, I do enjoy his streams. Again, not a lot of guys on CMS actually do creative streams. You know, I think I'm the only one other than Red Angel. How did you call him? How do we call him? How about we call him DTA? That's fine by me.
Sounds good to me as well.
It's shorter. It's, you know, it is what it is. But I love the name. It's great. It gets people to say something they probably don't want to. You gotta acknowledge people that hang out and do some stuff. So, but yeah. So before I jump on to something else, Scotty, I gotta, because I don't want to get off. I just had a new follower. I'm not even gonna say that, but okay. People love the trolling stuff. So we were talking about stuff that were. Did you wait real fast? Did you have because I know we were kind of unprepared a little bit here today, but I'm unprepared every week.
That's what makes it fun, though.
I guess
More
so.
spur of
Kind
the
of.
moment.
Yeah, you see the drunk guys talk about random stuff. It's always
You
interesting.
need something in your back pocket to talk about, but at the same time, a lot of the people on the stream commenting kind of drive conversation, which I think is a good thing.
I agree. Definitely. I didn't know if you have a topic that you wanted to bring up.
No, I actually was doing a lot of reading about the same thing you were, and actually I didn't make the connection that it was tied to the anniversary of the repeal of prohibition, but I was really interested in the article that went over, looking at how many craft brewers there are in the U.S. and what the most favorite style of beer brewed by those, as well as looking at the fact that there's a growing percentage of beer that's exported out of the U.S.
Yeah,
that actually kind of interests me because kind of looking at beer over the years, there always seems to be a big disconnect between the U.S. and the rest of the world, where the rest of the world kind of looks down at the U.S. as being, our view of beer is not good.
Well, also I think the trend has always been like the bigger the better, the higher more alcohol content, the better it is, right? But one of my favorite beers, and unfortunately it's on the Phantom episode of this stream, right? The first episode I did, I reviewed my favorite beer in the world. It's an English beer that we couldn't get here for years, and it's a session ale. But you're right. A lot of countries probably look at us, and when we look at our beer, and they say, "Good God, what are they thinking over there?" Unless they start talking to the guys at BrewDog, who last week, Rajesh, you and I were talking about, the high alcohol content beer from the world at the end of time. So, but yeah. And DTA, thank you. The overlay, I did this all myself. I get a little bit artistic every once in a while. I actually got to work on a bunch of other a bunch of other overlays for the other streams that we're going to be doing beyond Under the Suds, right? So we have a cooking show and a gardening type thing that's going to happen. We're going to be brewing, Scott and I, as well. So there's two other types of streams we're going to be doing eventually. I just got a really fantastic laptop. We're going to start doing a bunch of those things. And actually, one of the ideas I wanted to do is I wanted to get out there and go to different restaurants as I travel, or even brewers and like breweries and do some reviews and stuff like that. So, but yeah, thank you. I do appreciate the
Instead, there's actually an Allagash tasting and food pairing in Hamilton in January.
I think that sounds like a fantastic idea. I want to start streaming. I play guitar and do blacksmithing. Are you serious? Well, woo new hot laptop hype.
Sounds like a typical thing Donald Trump would want to do.
I don't think he's ever created a thing in his life. Well, I would watch that, DTA, by all means, man. If you were gonna do that, let me know. I would love to check that out. That'd be kind of cool. There's a ton of stuff in creative, and I know we're getting a way off topic again. And maybe I'll save the other topic for next week. I was gonna talk about Randall's and another beautiful thing that Dogfish Head has done, the Randall Jr.
Randall Jr. A duet home Randall?
Oh yeah. Do you guys know what a Randall is, first off? Maybe you guys do, maybe you don't. But Randalls are a way to infuse beer. So you can take a beer that really tastes absolutely horrible. And the Randall basically filters the beer through. If you've ever been to a brew pub or a brewery, excuse me, and they have like this little tube that has like a bunch of stuff stuffed into it. Maybe hops sometimes, it could be orange peel, it could be whatever. But they run stuff through. And it kind of takes on the extra flavor of the beer. It adds flavor to the beer itself. So Dogfish Head, which again is a fantastic brewery that's out of Delaware, and I'm drinking their Indian brown ale right now, created a Randall Jr. So I'm going to take this bad boy apart real quick. It basically allows you to take and stuff this whole container right here with whatever you want. So I've taken hops that we grow in our backyard, which later on down the line, once the hops start growing again, I can actually bring you guys outside and show you how we grow it, how you can tend to it, and all sorts of stuff. Apple Hop is a good beer. Love it. But you also have this little filter screen. Like this right here is a screen. So you can stick whatever you want in here. You can literally stick like jalapenos or whatever. Like in this area here. Fill this up with cool. Yeah, fill this up with beer. Right? And then, just cap it off and let it sit. Set it in the fridge, set it wherever you want. And then when you're ready, uncap it, pour it out. All the stuff that you were using to actually to add flavor to the beer. It's kind of like a dry hopping, really, of beer for a short period of time. A super infusion, pretty much. Kind of like a tea. Think of it as a tea, right? You're taking the beer, you're letting it sit in something else that didn't originally have, and it gives it this amazing extra flavor. Obviously, if you're going to put something in here with chili peppers, you probably wouldn't want to fill this whole damn thing up with chili peppers, right?
Or you may.
If you really like pain,
funny you bring up the Randall, because Carton, who, as everyone should know at this point, is my favorite brewery. They usually every Wednesday night they have a Randall full of something, and they're passing one of their beers through it. So
Yeah.
they actually had an imperial cream ale a
Ooh.
while ago, and they were passing it through uh, Sour Patch Kids. They do off the wall stuff of what they pass it through, and it's awesome.
That sounds
Another beer they brewed was the Cosmonaut,
okay.
which they had passed through strawberries.
All right.
They're constantly passing it through, or filling the Randall with sometimes normal ingredients, and sometimes stuff you'd never expect to be put into a Randall.
Yeah, we've gotten some pretty creative results out of infusing stuff with this Randall Junior. But um,
So where did you get that? Did you find it at a liquor store, or?
no, I actually ordered this off of Dogfish Head. They're the only ones that produce it, and you can't get it anywhere else, from what I know. But it's called their Randall Junior. I mean, it comes in this really cool, the mini enamel animal right there. So, on the back of it, and it even comes with instructions. You can sit there. So you see, like I said, you unscrew the top, you fill it with whatever you want. In this case, they took hops, right? You pour your beer in, and when it's done, and it says, fill it off-centered ale, replace filter cap, cool for 20 minutes. 20 minutes is all they say it takes. Then just pour it out through the filter, and you get this interesting beer you didn't even have before.
You know what? That's a really neat thing, even for homebrewers who are looking to kind of test stuff out in terms of dry hopping, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
you kind of, and just an example, you brew up your favorite ale recipe, and you say, you know what? How would this change with these particular additions of dry hops? And you could kind of test, instead of testing out a full batch,
Oh yeah.
test out single pints.
Yeah, I think this is one of my favorite little like beer gadgets. And unfortunately, I don't remember I have it whenever I'm like playing around with beer, or just I could take the cider that I have down in the basement, which I probably should bottle or do something with soon, because you know my history with cider, Scotty. A lot of my ciders have just exploded and caused all sorts of havoc in my basement. So I'm trying it again.
That was before you knew the ways of sanitation.
Well, it's not even just that. I thought the one that blew open the fridge that one time, I thought it was done fermenting, and I was completely wrong. This don't panic was not me at that point in time. I was panicking. Completely panic. Anne was so mad. I've never seen her so pissed off in my entire life, man. Oh my gosh, she wanted to kill me. Yeah. Oh, DTA. Don't know if I ever had the Swedish. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I don't think I've had that. But if you have some and would like to send some to me, I'm not going to say no.
Yeah.
I can give you an address, you can ship it off, and I will review it on the stream and say that Donald Trump's awesome sent me this beer. And I'll even say your full name just for you. So I drink a lot of exotic
I'm
beers.
invincible!
I am an
You're
invincible.
a loony.
And I'm also probably a little loony. I've been enjoying a lot of that. Okay. I don't know, what state are you in the U.S.? Where'd you? I don't know because different states get different beer. I'm not sure if it comes to PA. And if it goes to New Jersey too, that's really close to us as well. So, you like that? I love the sound effects. There's a lot of them down below, by the way, in the panel, so you can look it up. But yeah, no, I have not. I don't think I've had that beer. But yeah, this is a great little device, and I don't know if they produce many or have them on their website anymore.
NYC, you're right around the corner.
Nice, man. I take the train right up to NYC. My son was born in Brooklyn. It's really close to us. I'm in PA. I'm near Philly. So, what I might do, Scotty, is I might get a one or two of these, or maybe I'll contact my friend that works as a Dogfish Head rep, and maybe what I can do is I can actually acquire one or two of these bad boys, and then I can give them away as prizes for contests we have in the future, or
There you go.
just because.
Can I join the competition to win one?
I don't think you shouldn't. I think if you want, by all means. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or I'll just get an extra one and give it to you. Yeah, whatever works. I mean, you're part of the show. It is what it is. But if you want to join the contest now, I drove through Philly in October. Man, you can just take the train down. That's what we do in New York City, man. And the city's fun, but I don't get there that often. Not anymore. I used to work in the city downtown. But
I can't remember the last time I was in the city, to be honest.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
I came close. Recently, I've been in Newark, but I've never actually crossed the river.
And who really wants to stop in Newark? I don't know.
Well, I actually did 2 really cool events. I went and saw the New Jersey Devils game, which big hockey fan, so that was awesome. And last December, before Christmas, I actually went and saw Home Alone at the NJPX Theater with the symphony playing all the music, and that was very cool.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Huh.
Yeah.
Wow. In Newark, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
The only
At the NJPX Theater. It's I don't know if they're doing it this year, but I know in the past they've done Godfather. They do a lot of very cool movies where you have
really
a symphony kind of playing all the music from it.
Huh. Last time I was up there was for in Newark. I think it was for an actual football match in American football. I was there watching a Jets match, and it was a free game. A friend of my coworkers, Dave Bragg. He one of our Scott and I used to work for the same company. He knows the same guy, Dave Bragg, English guy, big drunk. But he was like, I got tickets to the Jets game. But the only other reason why I would probably go up there is maybe watch the Red Bulls lose. Since I'm a Philadelphia Union fan, right there. That's my football club in the United States. And also right back there, you can see the scarf. I won't tell you my European club. That's a secret. So, thanks for the gift idea, Randall Jr. My brother's gonna be stoked to try. Yeah, that is a fantastic gift. Like I said, it's on the Dogfish Head website, and I'm gonna see if I can acquire a few of them to give it away on the stream. A few of those. I think that would be fun. Plus they're fantastic. It's a fantastic device just to test out beer. So Jets are your team. Rough year this year, sadly. You know what? I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of American football anymore. It was unfortunately, it was that game that I went to, the Jets game that I went to, that made me. It killed it, yeah. Because I didn't. It's not because of the Jets. I want to clarify that. It was because I didn't realize that they got paid to stand around for no reason during TV timeouts, and that kind of annoyed me.
Well, that's most sports in the U.S. I mean, it's now even happening in hockey.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
Give it time. It's going to happen in. And pardon my language here, but it's going to happen in soccer.
They don't have breaks. That's the best part about football.
But it's
Proper
starting to become more and more commercialized. So once it gets shown more and more in the U.S. markets, it's going to have TV timeouts. Only a matter of time. Trust me.
Nah, they do advertising in a different way. That's why they put this stuff on their shirt constantly. Sounds intriguing. It's not $300 What?
The Randall 300 may be the one that you actually hook up to a keg.
Yeah, that sounds a little dodgy because this thing I think was not $300. Yeah, it was like $20 or $30. I can't remember. Yeah, $300 for the because to Scott's point, that's probably one you stream to a keg and you hook up and you can. Like you see at breweries, it goes through the tubes and it goes through the channels, and whatever you throw in there actually fuses it. But yeah, it's that's a good $19. There you go. So if I can't get my boy to get me a few of those, I'll just purchase a few of them and we'll give them away. You know, it's a worthwhile investment if you guys love beer, love infusing things, trying new different things out. And to your point, Scott, you know, I never even thought about it that way. You know, taking a homebrew, putting a little bit in here, you know,
Yeah.
and then just letting it sit for 20 minutes with like the coffee beans. We probably would have been able to taste our session brew coffee milk stout, which we haven't done in at least 2 years.
Yeah, we got to get on that again. I have one bottle still in the fridge, which one of these weeks I may crack open to review.
I cracked one open the other day, and well, not the other day. It was maybe like a month or two ago, and for a lot of carbonation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know how to rectify that, but maybe that's one of the things we should do. One of the first brewing streams. Maybe we need to do the coffee ale.
We did the coffee milk stout.
Coffee milk stout, and it always turned out to be a session beer. It's like 4.3, 4.5,
which is fine. Fine by me.
It was a fantastic drinkable beer. You know.
Yep.
What I'm really waiting for right now is Ratchet's here to send me his mango habanero IPA.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge, hint, hint.
I'm game for that.
What would a beer infused with ranch racing taste like? You bet it would be delicious. Ooh, not much. I don't know. Someone say coffee milk stout. Yes, Gabe, we brew a coffee milk stout. Gabe is very local, so when we do, maybe we can get you, Gabe, if you can get away from the missus and in your army of awesome kids. I love your family, but you know, it's come brew with us. I think that would be we. Am I French? I don't know. Owen is. I'm not. So.
You may be. You never know.
You know, I could do a genetic test, but mostly I'm Irish and a lot German. So. You're small platoon. I like that even better. Yeah. So. No, Gabe. We have to set that up next time Scott and I brew. You know, you have to meet up with us. I don't think you've ever brewed before. We can do the whole stream. You know, you can brew the beer. We can brew the beer, and then hang out and drink with us. And then if we do the coffee milk stout, that would be great. That thing doesn't take that long to do. It's just a really good hearty beer that isn't high in alcohol. You know.
Good one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite recipes we've done.
Yeah, I agree.
You're 110% down with that. All right, man. We're going to have to work it out. I got the laptop set. We're ready to roll. Ready. Yes. There you go. You're Angloin. So you're white.
Anglonian?
I don't know what that means. I don't think that's a Native American tribe. I mean, I'm part Native American, and I've never heard of that tribe before. So, yeah. All right, so we're gonna have to organize that bad boy. I can put a scoop of. Ooh, no. Floats, beer floats, are definitely a thing, man. Take a porter, take a stout, scoop of ice cream, plop that bad boy in, boom.
Brooklyn Brewery makes an awesome coffee stout. Get that over a scoop of vanilla ice cream. I've had it in the past. It is amazing.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, then I apologize for offending. I've never heard of the tribe. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm part Lakota. I'm also part Lenape. So, it is what it is. Murder me and sleep. See you guys. Have a good one. Donald Trump is awesome. Thank you again. And I will say your name because, it's funny.
Yeah, it's getting to be about that point for me as well.
Yeah, normally we go about like an hour and a half, so we're probably going to call it quits soon, guys.
Yep.
Thank you all for hanging out. Again, we're here every night. Not every night. Every Wednesday. Every night would be a long night. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m.
It'd be nice if we could do every night, but
technically we probably could. But one night a week is fine for right now. We're gonna do a hosting real quick. Real fast. I'm gonna do some announcing of stuff. I'm thinking about adding as a ending part of this. Thank you, Monica. You're the only one that has enough coins to actually do under the table. Drinking song. Possibly. So, all right. I'm actually thinking about adding on a point in time at the end of the stream where we do some beer trivia. I was talking to Scott about it a while back. There's a way we can do interactive beer trivia or just trivia in general. I found a way to do it. You would be able to play along either on your computer or on your cell phone if you have it. And it is also international. Wait, hold on. Irish coffee milk stout reminds me of Irish coffee. Irish coffee, a strong coffee, a shot of rum. Yeah, no, and it's not that. I'll get into that recipe another day. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing trivia. So if you guys are interested, join our Discord. If you go in there right now, and I'll just type a Discord real fast. Go join Discord if you use that app. I'm on that constantly during the day while I'm at work and even when I'm working from home. So if you post something there, I will respond back pretty quickly. Pretty attentive on there. The other things on there, obviously, social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook's not up there, but it is a thing. And also, if you're into beer and you like tracking beer, Untappd is the way to go. I have an Untappd account. It's down in the panels below. Definitely follow me. I will follow you back. And when I remember to actually track the beer, which is my biggest problem with doing Untappd, I just can't remember to track the beer. If you haven't followed and you're new to the stream, by all means, please click that follow button. We are here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is, I think, 5 p.m. Pacific. Real fast, we're going to do a host. My friend Sathros is now streaming. Let's go give him some love real fast. I'm going to do the raid command. Bang. There we go. Gabe, thank you for stopping by. I can't wait to brew with us. Awesome, man. We'll set it up. It's going to be fun. Brewing is always the best. You got to love it. And if you've never done it before, it's definitely one of the things to try out. All right. So, barring Scott falling asleep here, he's already in the house. He's already ready to go to bed. Guys, thank you again. Jump over to Sathros. We will talk to you next week at 8 p.m. And have a good night.
See you, everybody. Soon.